Hey everybody, this is the fourth here, and in this video I will be introducing you to the mid-side EQ. So the mid-side EQ works in a similar way to a normal EQ, except for that it allows you to EQ the mid-channel and the side channel separately. So what exactly are the mid and the side channels? Well, if you want a technical explanation, then I definitely recommend you watch the next video as well as this video. But if you want a more simple explanation, basically the mid channel is the mono foundation of your sound. So it's everything that's in the middle. And if I solo the mid track of this saw wave, you'll hear that. Now I've soloed the mid track. You'll hear that it becomes a mono waveform, and it is represented in the vector scope as a mono waveform as well. So the mid channel is everything that's in the center or the middle of your stereo sound. And the side track is everything that's out on the sides, and what gives your sound its stereo image. So if I filter out the mid channel to isolate the side channel, you can hear that it will sound like it's very wide in terms of the stereo depth. It sounds kind of weird. That's how wide it is. So what exactly do you use a mid-side EQ for? And essentially what you use it for is increasing or decreasing the stereo width of a sound, but rather than increasing it or decreasing it as a whole like you would if you were to use the spread knob in the FL Studio mixer or some other similar stereo width adjusting effect, you can do it at specific frequency ranges. So if I were to boost a certain frequency range in the side channel, it would increase the stereo width of that frequency range. And to give you a better idea of that, what I'm going to do is boost the entire side channel and reduce the mid channel by the same amount. And you can hear if I turn that off, it doesn't sound as wide. And when I turn it back on, it's a lot wider. And you can see this in the vector scope as well. Here's with it off. And here's with it on. So I've just increased the stereo width of that sound. And the mid-side EQ just allows me to do that at specific frequency ranges. So if I wanted a bit more stereo width in the highs, I could boost the highs slightly in the side and maybe even reduce them on the mid. And I could filter out the low end on the side track if I wanted to have my low end be a bit less wide, or if I wanted to just make it mono. So you should be able to hear that the lower frequencies don't really have as much stereo width to them anymore, and the higher frequencies have more. So here's with it off, and here's with it on. So that's pretty much the idea behind mid-side EQ. It allows you to equalize the mid channel and the side channel of an audio track separately. This allows you to increase or decrease the stereo widths of different frequency ranges in a sound by different amounts. Now, it is possible that you could use mid-side EQ as more than just a stereo modification tool while mixing, but I personally only really use it to adjust stereo widths while mixing. I do know that some people use it while mastering, more like how they would use a normal EQ, but the mid-side functionality helps them target specific sounds in the mix a little bit better. But that's in mastering. I don't know how often you would actually need to do that while mixing, but it is a possibility, even though I mainly just use it as a stereo tool while mixing. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully everything made sense and you have a better idea of how mid-side EQ works and what you can do with it. In the next video, I will be explaining how mid-side EQ works on a technical level.